So this next day aboard Spectrum of the Seas was a day at sea as we sailed to Japan, and in this video we will show you what it's like on board the ship on a typical sea day, and also show our experiences of formal night, and let's just say we were very surprised.
So the ship does not provide a paper copy of the daily programme, and you have to look at the Royal Caribbean app to see what's going on around the ship. This is provided in both English and Chinese languages.
For us, after 5 incredible days exploring Shanghai and Jeju, we were grateful for a day to rest and recuperate. And our late night cocktail antics the day before also meant that an early start was simply not on the cards on this sea day.
Still, us girls got off to a positive start by attending a late morning dance exercise class. Obviously, we couldn't take photos.
Well, Chris and I spent part of our morning filling in the mandatory Japanese immigration forms that we would need the following day. The ship had provided comprehensive instructions and these weren't too difficult to complete. After we completed the forms, we headed to the Windjammer Buffet for a late breakfast. It was a sunny day and we expected there to be activities on the sun decks and pool areas, so we headed to deck 15 to try and bag some sun lounges. However, we needn't have worried as so few people were making the most of the sunshine and there were no poolside or on-deck activities to draw people there also.
Maybe they felt it was too cold to sit in the sun. Mad dogs and Englishmen, as the saying goes.
So welcome to this sea day here on Spectrum of the Seas, and last night's late night partying and dancing and quite a few cocktails, quite a few cocktails. Saw us get to bed very late. We had a great night, but it has left us a little bit jaded and hungover this morning. So the girls did really well when they went to their dance class this morning, but it did mean that we had a late breakfast, and it's actually nearly lunchtime now. And they're still down there showering and getting themselves ready for the day. I've scampered up onto deck to try and get some sun loungers, wondering there wouldn't be many because it's sunny. And it's about 18 degrees, it's t-shirt and shorts weather, but look at the sun, there's stacks and stacks and stacks of availability of sun loungers. And there is all around the top deck here. I don't know why people aren't out here enjoying the sun. It is warm, but anyway, that's a benefit to us and we're enjoying that. So we're going to have a lazy day. I'm going to read some of my fantastic book that I'm reading. And it's formal night tonight, and so we'll see what that brings. So stick with us and see how we get on a sea day on Spectrum of the Seas.
We sat and read our books and soaked up some of the sun's rays. I wasn't going to miss out on some vitamin D, and back in the UK we wouldn't see warmth like this again for many months. And whilst waiting for the girls to get ready, Chris went to do some more exploring of the ship, and there were plenty of people making good use of the onboard facilities, including the North Star, the Flow Rider and the indoor skydiving too. Laser tag was always being set up for the kids later in the afternoon.
There is certainly a lot to entertain families on board Spectrum of the Seas.
And when the girls arrived, we went and had lunch in the Windjammer Buffet.
Topic for discussion was tonight's dress code for the only formal night of the cruise. Wondered how strict the dress code would be and how it would compare to other cruise lines.
After lunch, the Dales and Nettie went to a jewellery talk where they could claim a free charm bracelet. And they got out without making a purchase. Phew.
There are quizzes and arts and crafts going on around the ship, but one thing to point out is that not all are for English speakers. Over 50% of the passengers on board Spectrum of the Seas were Chinese, and 25% were Russian, so English, while spoken by all crew, wasn't the predominant language on board.
Nothing going on really took my fancy, so I returned to the sun lounges to read more of my book. So as we've been sailing north today in the afternoon, the temperature has notably dropped. Look, get my fleece on now, definitely need it. It is quite chilly, but it's getting late in the afternoon now. The girls have just popped down to get some kind of free bracelet or something, and we're probably going to head back down. It's formal night tonight. Probably need to get dressed up, get our glad rags on for tonight's formal night. But it's been a lovely day at sea. Plenty of reading done, just the way I like it. Anyway, join us for tonight's formal night. Let's see what that's about.
We returned from the jewellery talk and it was a bit chilly on deck, so we headed indoors into the Leaf and Bean Cafe for a hot chocolate and bubble tea. This was lovely and was also included in our drinks package. So I went back to the room for a power nap and I disturbed him when it was time to get dressed and get ready for the formal night experience.
All dressed up smart, well, semi-smart in my case, we headed out into the ship ready for our first ever Royal Caribbean formal night. We found a spot to get some photos taken and we watched others queuing for the photos with the crew. It was, though, a fairly short queue. We then went into the music hall venue where we enjoyed a fun Guess the Animal quiz that was in English. 16 out of 20, and even with Animal Crackers Nettie we weren't good enough to claim the prize. Then a few more photos before we headed into the main dining room.
We were seated and waited to be served. What's up, Si? What are you thinking?
So it's dress your best night tonight, and I made a bit of a token effort, and my wife and the Dales look amazing as expected and as is usual. One of the striking things though, although in the main dining area tonight on Just Best, there's people queuing up for photos with the officers outside, but I'd say a good proportion, of about 60 to 70% of the people are in casual gear. So it's a bit of a minority that are dressed up for the event tonight. We've seen people even in the dining room in beach shorts and all sorts of things tonight. Tracksuit bottoms, t-shirts. So it's been a bit of a surprise on the formal night to see such a sort of a casual dress code being applied, despite what's put in the official Royal Caribbean sort of a dress code for the evening. Okay, so what's on the menu tonight? So here are the starters and the premium meals. Here are the main courses and desserts. And here's the wine selection, which was the same as the first night's meal. It took a while, but drinks and starters eventually arrived. How are the spring rolls?
The spring rolls are very tasty.
Got the soup, Mr. D?
That soup was absolutely delicious.
Then, after a fairly long wait, the main courses arrived. How was it, Al? You had the pork enchilada. How was that?
It was very nice. So cooked lovely, and it was served with rice on the side. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Chris and Si both had the premium filet mignon steak. How was it, Si?
Right, Si, you had the filet mignon. How was it?
Well, it didn't quite go to plan. This was an upgrade to the menu. It was extra $18 to have the filet mignon steak. I have dietary requirements. I can't have peppercorn sauce, so I asked for a béarnaise sauce. And the steak came out, and it took a while, but it eventually came out. We assume that's because they were prepping the fillet of steak. And unfortunately, the sauce that was provided was stone cold. So I poured it all over the steak, and it wasn't that appetising, to be honest. I did flag it with the maitre d' and the waiter, and they were very apologetic, and they've kindly offered to waive the fee for the steak, which, fair enough, it's good customer service. But in terms of the meal, it did kind of take the edge off the meal, really. It wasn't the greatest of meals for me. Also, I normally have a steak well done. It was much more medium than well done. But, other than that, service has been great and the ambience is nice in this restaurant. Chris, so you also had the filet mignon steak and you enjoyed yours, yeah?
I did indeed, yeah. Mine was the $18 upgrade as well. I had it with the sauce. I asked for it to be medium cooked, and it was perfectly medium cooked, and it was very tender.
And what sauce did you have?
The peppercorn sauce.
Peppercorn sauce, nice, yeah?
Yeah, it was very nice. The jacket potato with the sour cream and the chicken, the bacon flakes was beautiful. Very nice cooked.
So my filet kind of went wrong because the sauce was cold, and yours was spot on.
Spot on. It was spot on.
That's fair and balanced review.
It was indeed.
And after dessert, Nettie also had something to say about her toffee cheesecake. How was the toffee cheesecake?
Well, the toffee cheesecake was very different.
All right.
Yeah, I couldn't taste any toffee in it.
No toffee?
No.
Okay.
It had like a French meringue on the top. Not what I would call a cheesecake. So actually, I don't know what it was. Yeah, very different.
Well, with my filet mignon and your cheesecake, they couldn't serve a decent meal for toffee, could they, really?
Okay, our nearly 3-hour long main dining room experience once again had been a little disappointing, but we were all up for a fabulous evening's entertainment, even Si. What's in that steak sauce? So we headed into the theatre to watch Showgirl, past, present and future. We settled in and took in the show. Once again, the showcast laid on an incredible visual delight with great songs, incredible dance routines and spectacular sets. And there were even more spectacular costumes, and this was an hour of toe-tapping fun. And after, we retired to the Leaf and Bean Cafe for a hot chocolate and a chance to share our thoughts on the show. Just watched Showgirls Past, Present and Future in the theatre here on Spectrum of the Seas, and we're very lucky tonight because we have a professionally qualified dance instructor here to review it, along with Nettie, the official Cooks Explore show reviewer. So, without further ado, let's hand over to the girls.
Right, Al, how did you think?
I thought it was the most brilliant production. The costumes were fantastic. The dance quality was really right up there. It enthralled you from start to finish. It was just a brilliant performance.
Yeah, I can concur with that, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I thought the boys were brilliant in their acrobats and things like that. Fantastic singing voices. And I think the sound in the studio was absolutely amazing.
Being the grumpy one, I have to add my bit, of course. It was show girls, and it was all about the girls, of course, but they did find things for the boys to do. So I thought that was pretty good. But a very good quality production overall, very complex, and lots of outfit changes and stuff like that went well over my head. Anyway, a good review from the girls. The ship was busy and buzzing, and we wandered round for a short while, taking it all in, and had a final drink in the music hall. However, this wasn't a late night for a very good reason though, and we retired to our rooms around 10:30 PM and decided to share our thoughts on our first formal night experience. So we're just back from formal night, and formal night here on Spectrum of the Seas, Royal Caribbean Spectrum of the Seas formal night. What was that like? So they had a dress code, I think. Let's talk about the dress codes first of all. The dress code was a standard sort of formal night dress code. You know, if you look at the guidance, it says dress your best, and tuxedos and ball gowns.
Formal night.
There weren't many, were there?
Not a lot, no.
No.
Well, we saw people coming in shorts, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the main dining room, and there were people in the main dining room in beach shorts and t-shirts and denim shorts and ripped denim and trainers and jogging pants and
We actually felt a little bit out of place.
overdressed, I think.
Yeah.
I think I saw how many tuxedos? I saw two tuxedos tonight on the ship of 4.5.
On the way back, didn't we?
That was on the way back.
We may have missed some. I
Yeah.
think the best ones that were dressed were the ones that were having their photos with the captain.
Yeah, there was a queue of people
Yeah.
queuing up for the photos with the officers and stuff, wasn't there?
There's also
and they were all
there
dressed up.
was the captain's table, so they're probably all dressed up in there. So we didn't see the people in there, did we?
I would say the percentage of people that were complying with the dress code tonight was probably as low as about 30%, maybe 40, but it certainly wasn't north of 50. It was definitely well below 50%.
It's probably something to do with the combination of nationalities that are on board, I think.
It's a very different sort of range of nationalities, but the nice thing is everybody was having a good time, and that came over. Everybody was enjoying themselves. The entertainment was good. You enjoyed your show.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Yeah, and you know, people were enjoying the vibe because there was, despite there not being many people dressing up, you didn't need to dress up to have a good time on the ship tonight, because there were stacks and stacks of stuff going on, karaoke and all sorts of things going on. People enjoying themselves, and the dress code had absolutely nothing to do with it.
But if you want to dress up, you can. Look at us.
And some people clearly wanted to dress up, although they were definitely in a minority. For me personally, I think, you know, the dress code thing's a bit of an archaic cruising tradition. I know some people cling on to it and love it and stuff like that, but I think the more and more we see ships like this, you know, this is not the first time we've had this kind of experience on a formal night, is it?
But well, we've been actually on cruise ships before that people have got turned away if they're not dressed up to go into the main dining room, but they certainly didn't have that here, did they, at all?
But I think, you know, on the cruise lines that have done a sort of a more informal formal night, I mean, it hasn't detracted from everybody's enjoyment at all.
Certainly not.
And tonight was definitely definitely a case in point on that, because everybody's had a really good time tonight. So, despite
it's buzzing out there, isn't it?
It's buzzing. And despite the lack of, you know, formality, everybody's having a really good time, and that's the main thing, isn't it, at the end of the day? All right, okay, so we got an early-ish night tonight because we got a complex immigration process for Japan tomorrow. So we've got to be...
We're up early, aren't we?
A face-to-face immigration inspection starting at 7 a.m. in the morning. So it can't be a wild party night like it was the night before, unfortunately.
We need to get breakfast before as well, because we've got an excursion to go on as well, haven't we?
Yes, so we've got to present ourselves at 7 a.m. in the morning. So anyway, look, thanks for getting this far with this adventure of ours. And tomorrow we're in another country. We're in Japan.
Oh, so excited.
That's amazing.
So excited.
Okay, stay tuned.
Bye.
Join us in the next video for our first experience of the wonders of Japan, and it was something very special, but left us wanting much more than we got. Thanks for watching.
If you've got any questions about this video, then why not drop us a question in the box below? We always reply, and why not drop us a comment as well? And if you'd like to see more content like this,
please like and subscribe.